Welcome back. Interesting combination when you look at the markets and the election. As voters prepare to head to the polls, investors are flocking to safety. Gold prices, for example, jumping in recent weeks, closing Friday over $1,300. Anthony Scaramucci with us this morning. And Trump's surge in the polls leading to a surge in this commodity. What do you think about this, Anthony? I don't even think of gold as a commodity. I think it's a hedge.
Yeah, and I think this is a cautionary transitional thing. Mark Farber was on Wall Street Week with us recommending gold just to be defensive because of what's going on in the currencies in general from the global central banks. But here's what I really think is going to happen. I said this to Stu Varney on Friday. If Mr. Trump wins, you're probably going to see a little bit more of a trade-off, and then you're going to see a rise in the markets like you did in Brexit, Maria, because at the end of the day, people are going to realize that the policies that he's calling for are not going to be disruptive. If anything, they're going to have a big pact with a growth component. And but, you know, listen, it's an uncertainty thing, and markets like certainty. And so I do understand why gold is going up and the markets have trended down in the last 8 days as he closes up in the polls.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
This from Charlie Brady, who is one of the top people here at the Business Network, that since the news broke on October 28th that the FBI was reopening its investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails, Trump stocks have outperformed Clinton stocks.
What are Trump stocks?
So Trump stocks are names like defense companies, drug makers like a Johnson & Johnson, a Pfizer, Northrop Grumman.
Because the other side wants to put a cap on drug prices.
Right. And then Clinton stocks have underperformed in the last week, like United Health, Humana. Those would be the health insurers would benefit from greater government intervention into Obamacare. Names like that, Citigroup, since Wall Street's completely in her pocket. But Clinton stocks are down almost 5%, more than twice the 2.2% slide in S&P. Trump stocks are down only 1.3%. So they're all down, but have outperformed dramatically.
If the market's going to be driven by earnings, what's better for earnings than lower taxes and a rollback in regulation? So you have to think that the market goes up longer term.
Maria, tell me the company that's going to have 30% growth next year in the S&P 500. And the answer is there aren't any unless you get the Donald Trump tax breaks.
Right.
You go from 35 to 15, then all of a sudden every company in the S&P 500 has more profits to reallocate into the marketplace.
I totally agree with you. I think it's a winning plan in terms of the economy as well as the earnings story. But when people buy gold, they're usually buying gold because they're afraid of something.
No question. And there's uncertainty about him. He is the non-politician. If he wins on Tuesday, this is historic. You've got Dwight Eisenhower, who was in the military complex, and Donald J. Trump are the only two people that you could say had no political experience ascending to the presidency.
It's incredible.
So that's the reason why gold is up a little bit. Well, people are going to be fine. He'll do a great job as president.
We don't necessarily know what he would do, but what we do know about Hillary is disturbing. So it's... who knows what people decide to do.
Yeah.
But I just want to take a little tiny issue with that. I hear you, and I understand that. But if you look at the transition team, you look at the white papers we put together, you look at the people surrounding him, I think it's going to be a pretty predictable thing with this guy. He's very execution-oriented, and I think even the National Review will like the policies.
But I'll push on that, because the Trump that we've seen on the campaign trail, not recently, but certainly since the convention in Cleveland, is somebody who goes rogue, who at times doesn't listen to the very smart people around him. So therein lies some of the concern.
Well, okay, so coming back onto the campaign plane with him after one of those roguish moments, he turned to me, he said, how did that go? I said, well, you know, you got yourself off message there a little bit. And he looks at me, he goes, but wasn't that entertaining for the crowd? And I said, yes. Okay, so, but you have to understand something. The reason I'm saying this is he's not a politician.
Right.
He doesn't think like a politician. He thinks like a television entertainer and a real estate developer with a very large
personality. But you can't call that predictable, is what I'm saying.
No,
you can't.
But because of Hillary Clinton.
The policies you can.
Because of Hillary Clinton, people are willing to make a bet, take a risk on what you don't know from Donald Trump.
You'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be okay.
And to your point, S&P, which came out and said that the decline in the market usually means that the incumbent party or the incumbent who's running for re-election loses. And so a Republican victory based on that historical information would be nigh. They do say that a Republican victory could trigger a further decline in prices due to the uncertainty, but that should be viewed as a buying opportunity.
Yeah.
They don't see a recession in the next 12 months.
I've already had Democratic PR firms reach out to me and say, hey, it looks like he's going to win. Do your friends who want cabinet positions need help in reaching across the aisle for the nomination process? So there's a lot of uncertainty out there and a lot of hedging going on, Maria.
By the way, do you want a cabinet position?
Me? I do not. No, I love my firm. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Also, I like hosting the television show.
Is there room
I'm not really a television host. I just play one on TV.
Is there room for your personality in the White House? Is there room for that kind of personality?
No. Girl, I like doing exactly what I'm doing. But
Right,
thank
that's my
you. I'm
point.
flattered that you even think that they would think of me like
We're
that.
just checking. Still to come, concerns surrounding the Clinton Foundation after new leaked emails about the charity calls its humanitarian efforts into question. That's next. We will zero in on the foundation. Plus, WhatsApp looks to pull a disappearing act. Yeah, like Snapchat, the new feature that could help it take some market share from Snapchat. Back in a minute.